Good evening, everyone. Tonight I thought I'd show you how a composer can turn three simple little notes into something beautiful. A triad is just like the first, third, and fifth notes of a scale in C major, and then C again. That's just the four-note chord of the same thing. And yet he can take it and make it something beautiful, just adding a little melody in there and making an arpeggio of broken notes of that same triad going up and down the keyboard. So if you have you see, he's just taking those three notes, D flat, F, A flat, and he's making it into a broken chord like that, going up and back down, like a wave. And then he adds a melody note that belongs to those three notes. And then when he does this part, just broken up and adding the octave doubled, and it's so simple when they can take something as simple as a triad but make it into something as a work of art, something beautiful, if you make it expressive. I mean, you can destroy it if you don't play it with expression. So when you can come down into the keys, if you imagine that your hand was like a baseball catcher's mitt, he catches that ball with his mitt. You catch that weight when you're coming down without a stiff wrist. You catch the weight and then you roll it to the next note using the stored energy and the kinetic energy and all that kind of thing. But it's to come in expressively and then sing the phrase and decide where you want it to go. And if you hear a note and you want it to be expressive, listen to how quiet you want it to go down, it dies down to, and then match that. And then lead and take the listener somewhere in it. So I wrote down a couple of other pieces. Like if you take the Chopin Scherzo in B flat minor, there's a part in there that's in E major, and it's just E, G sharp, B. So he's just breaking that triad up into broken chord. So just a triad, and he's breaking it up one note after another and flying up and down the keyboard, and then it sounds impressive. And it's that simple, really, but it's a matter of getting the technique. So you do all your finger exercises and go through all that end of it to build your hands so that they can handle that. Like if you take the Harp Etude, it's this now. It's just A flat major triad. can be something as simple as a C major triad, C, E, G, and Bach takes it and he goes. So you see, you just drop, and that's a force, the force of gravity, taking your body down. And you don't need to add any more force, you just sink in and use that catcher's mitt to take that weight by the strength of the finger and not a stiff wrist. And as you take that weight and balance it in the keys, you can lead it to the next note and crawl to the next and do the next drop and the next drop and the next drop. And it's a sequence. And when you're listening to each note, you can make it expressive, and it's a fun thing to do. Let's see, what else did I write down? The Moonlight Sonata, you can take, it's just 3 notes, C sharp, E, G sharp. So. You can take the Pathetique Sonata. It's just A flat major triad. So, and another one, the Harp Etude. It's just 3 notes, A flat, C, E flat, and he takes it and he goes. You can take the Chopin Nocturne in D flat major. Chopin knew what harmonics were all about, and that's why he instructs on the start of that piece that you put the damper pedal down and you leave it down for the whole line. It's where he changes the pedal first time. You can't go. So I just wanted to show you that if you study your harmony and you understand the triads, you're halfway there to learning the notes of the piece. because so often it's just a broken chord or an arpeggio going up the scale and back down, up the triad and back down, up the keyboard and down. And suddenly it turns into something beautiful. So I hope that motivates you to look at those scores again and try and make some beautiful music. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.